Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome back to Doki Blue Skies. So previously, it was Christmas, and then things got a bit hot and heavy between MC and Yuri. But that all came to an abrupt stop when Sayori kind of came in and possibly saw more than what she probably wanted to. Anyway, so apparently now it's New Year's Eve. December 31st. The last year of the day. Don't you mean the last day of the year? I'm just saying, it just sounds kind of weird, like, this is the last year of the day. Because apparently there's so many years in a day. Well, whatever. As I push myself up, my gaze flows across my room. It looks exactly the same, save for the tea set on my desk. In a strange way, it's like Yuri's presence is here with me. She's always here with you. Let's see, a strange feeling courses through me as I recall the shy, nervous look on her face as she handed me the gift. A feeling which only grows stronger as I recall the quiet, intimate moment we had with one another after the other girls left. It's definitely not an unpleasant feeling, but it does feel confusing. Hormones. I feel warm inside, but it's still a foreign sensation. Like I said, hormones. What exactly are Yuri and I? Well, it's like I said in the last video, you're not friends, but you're not lovers, so you're somewhere in between, and it's really, really confusing, and damn it, I wish I had that song. Although, the song's in Japanese, so unless there's any Japanese viewers out there, yeah, I don't think anybody will be able to truly understand it. But it sounds very nice. Part of me wants to take Yuri out on a date, but, well, I don't know what to do. Take her on a movie date, I don't know. Taking her out to coffee or tea seems a bit basic. And I guess walking through the park would also be basic. But she likes tea though, so maybe it's not such a bad idea after all. Having finished my morning routine, I find myself sitting at the kitchen table, idly scrolling through my phone. Maybe some fresh air will help me place my thoughts. And it's still very dark and gloomy. That's much better. The air is still a little biting, but I'm wrapped up warm, so it feels more like a refreshing coolness. It's very brisky. Unfortunately, I left my gloves at home, so my hands are being subjected to the full wrath of the December air. Why'd you leave them at home? And you say Sayori's forgetful. And also, he was ragging on Sayori for losing her gloves. Man, it'd be nice to have Yuri's hands to warm mine. Maybe I should just ask her to be my girlfriend. No, you think? I mean, despite her being unsure of what we were, it's obvious that she likes me, right? I mean, who knows, if Sayori hadn't come in, you might have ended up kissing. How do you ask, though? I want you to be my girl. Okay, no. Like, don't do that. Hi Yuri, I like you, and I like you too. See, I'm messing it up myself. Hi Yuri, I like you, and I think you like me too, so do you want to be my girlfriend? Nah, that just sounds childish. Which is why I read it in that funny voice. Sayori and I used to say that stuff to each other when we were really little. You used to ask Sayori if she wanted to be your girlfriend? A white bow coming into my peripheral vision snaps me out of my inner turmoil. Hi, hey Daniel. Hey Monica, hey Monica. I didn't expect to see you about. Looks like you've gone for a walk? Oh hey Monica. Hey Monica. Yeah, I was in the mood for some fresh air, so here I am. That's why I'm here. Do you have any plans for New Year's? No. Kind of. I used to just watch the fireworks on TV with my parents, but they're not around this year. I guess I could watch them at home, alone. All by myself. Don't wanna be... Okay, no. I chose not to divulge the fact that I'm stuck for date ideas. Wait. I chose not to divulge the fact that I'm stuck for date ideas. At least not yet. Okay, this sentence doesn't make too much sense to me, but... whatever. Monica studies me for a moment. So grumpy. Her gaze feels like an X-ray, and I feel like she's somehow reading directly into my mind. I'm going to see your thoughts. Am I hallucinating? You can see into my mind? Say, Daniel, would you say that fireworks can be described as romantic? Oh. See, Monica knows what's up. I guess she's really the master matchmaker here. Yeah, forget Paris or the Eiffel Tower. Exploding gunpowder and pyrotechnics are what come to mind when someone says romance. Well, come on, I mean... It's like, it is kind of romantic to watch fireworks with someone you love. I mean, they kind of did that in Pokemon X and Y with Shauna and your main character. I laugh, but her knowing smirk doesn't move. Because she knows. If I were interested in someone, I think taking them to see the fireworks for New Year's would be the perfect way to start our relationship. See, it's like she's literally spelling it out to you. Where's this coming from? She can read your thoughts. Or maybe she can just read you like a book. Come on, Daniel. You can't be this dense. That's where you're wrong, Monica. He's an idiot. A complete and total idiot. But no, really, he's dense. Like, I don't know, I saw on a Reddit post or something, but he's thicker than your thighs. That's how thick and dense he is. There's a fireworks display in town. If you head to the Skytree Tower, you'll be guaranteed an amazing view. They start at 10 and finish at midnight. You do have to book, but it's only like 430 yen. Okay, then I should have some left. Nice way to start the new year, if you ask me. She winks at me. Ah, I see you. Well, I suppose there's no sense in hiding it or trying to play naive. Yuri and I were pretty obvious on Christmas Day. And it's like she was shipping you from the very start. Trust me when I say you should take her. You think? No. I know. I've seen how you two acted together over the past few months, and to be honest, it's about time you got together. It's like that way she can finally be satisfied and be like, yes! Score 1 for me. Have we really been that obvious? Yes. A smile is my only answer, I sigh. Anyway, what about you? What are you up to today? Don't suppose I'll see you under the fireworks tonight. What is wrong with you? It's like, you're supposed to love Yuri. Why are you flirting with Monica? Maybe with some hotshot tennis player? Okay, you're not hitting on her, you're just kind of insinuating something, I don't know. I nudge her, but to my surprise, she doesn't even smile. It's like, yeah, this is the face of someone who's done. She's done with you. Well, not really. It's only when I properly look at her that I see the bags under her eyes. Oh, jeez, no. She snorts derisively. I don't think there's much chance of that happening. Oh yeah, well, if a hotshot tennis player doesn't see anything in you, well, you can tell him to go fly a kite, I don't know. What I was gonna say sounded a lot meaner. Even her voice sounds a little drained. Because she's working herself to the bone, and her parents don't understand.
I've been busy.
With what? Everything. She hesitates for a moment, looking aside for a moment.
Just my parents' business. It's nothing I can't handle.
She keeps telling herself that, when in reality, it's definitely something she can't handle. Not entirely. Well, just make sure not to push yourself too hard, okay? I know you are a president and all, but everyone needs a break. Forget that. She needs a freaking vacation. She needs to go on sick leave. I feel kind of bad knowing that you're encouraging Yuri and I to spend time together when it looks like you can't even relax yourself. She looks at me, surprise written over her face.
Thank you, Daniel. Your concern is appreciated and noted. I'll try and bear that in mind, but I make no promises.
She briefly checks her watch.
Is that the time already? I've got to go, unfortunately. Need to pick up some stuff from the shops for my parents.
Damn, they can't even go pick up their own stuff. I don't know.
Catch you later, Daniel.
See ya, Monica. And thanks for the fireworks suggestion. It's like, if whatever the hell your parents want you to become when you grow up doesn't work out, you can be a very good couples therapist or matchmaker. They used to have a bunch of matchmaking shows on VH1. Oh, man. She smiles and waves, leaving me to ponder her current life situation. I know a little bit about her life situation, but I haven't read through all the notes completely. I just hope she'll be okay. I hope so too. Ah well, Monica isn't my focus for now anyway. I dig out my phone and navigate to Yuri. Hey Yuri.
Good afternoon, Daniel. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. My fingers hesitate over the screen. Oh. Are you busy tonight?
I think I'm free. Why?
Another bout of hesitation. Come on, Daniel. She likes you too. Do you want to check out the fireworks with me tonight? Monica mentioned we can go to the Skytree Tower. I can see Yuri typing a message, but the seconds that tick by feel like hours. It's like, oh, the suspense is killing me here. An awful lot is resting upon those 3 dots.
I'd love to. What time do they start?
The feeling of relief coursing through me makes my body feel much, much lighter. Why was I even nervous? Well, come on, it's like every guy is nervous. At least when they ask out their first girl for the first time. Or when they ask out a girl for their first date. You know what I mean. It's very nerve-wracking for us guys, especially because we don't know what's gonna happen. Monica said they start around 10 p.m., so would you like to come over a bit earlier? We can hang out and then go from my house.
Of course. Is it okay if I come over at 7 p.m.?
Oh, hello, that's a bit early.
There are a few errands I need to run.
Sure thing. I'll see you at 7 then.
I look forward to it.
I've been looking forward to this. Man, I'm gonna be quoting Count Dooku a whole lot. Well, all things considered, that could have gone a lot worse. She could have just told you no. Although I'm relieved, I can't help but feel apprehensive about how tonight will go. I mean, a date with Yuri? Under the fireworks? On New Year's Day? We almost kissed last time, and now there won't be anyone to interrupt us. Unless Sayori pops up and... okay, no. Oh man, I really hope I don't mess up our first kiss. Maybe I could Google it? Oh my god, really? What are you gonna Google? How to not screw up my first kiss? I laugh as I slip my phone back into my pocket. Like, I'm not even gonna bother trying to Google that myself. I mean, it's tempting because I want to see, like, what would pop up, but... man, I really need to get rid of these Christmas decorations. I'll do it tomorrow. Besides, I don't think Yuri will mind. At least traditionally, my mom and I would leave the Christmas decorations up until about... yeah, like until after New Year's Day. Then we start taking it all down. It's been a few hours since I got back from my walk. Since then, I decided to cook some more salmon teriyaki, as I still had a surplus of the ingredients from Christmas Day. I'm still surprised at my own cooking prowess. The days of ready meals and unhealthy snacks seem so long ago. It's safe to say that Yuri has definitely changed my life for the better. It's like she's a magic woman who changed my life forever. I jumped slightly at the sound of my doorbell ringing. Wow, is it really 7 o'clock already? Looks like our date is already upon us. The day of reckoning is upon us. Stay calm, Daniel. Stay calm. With one last quick, deep breath, I swing the door open.
Good evening, Daniel.
Yuri, hey! Without thinking, I dart forward and wrap her into a hug. Whoa, control yourself. See, I told you. The sudden action catches Yuri off guard. That much is obvious by how she startles. She eases into the gesture and tentatively slides her arms around me. She smells wonderful and feels so warm.
Not that I'm complaining, but what brought this on?
It's only as we break apart does my brain finally catch up. I don't think I've ever been so forward with Yuri before. Did I really just do that? Yes, you did, and I even said, like, wow, control yourself. I don't know. Hormones. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable.
No, it's okay. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You're quite a good hugger, Daniel.
Trust me, I'm a hugger. You too. Anyway, come on in. She smiles gratefully and steps into the hallway, closing the door softly behind her.
So we have 3 hours until the fireworks start. What would you like to do in the meantime?
I have no idea. That is a good question. We normally read a book or cook, right? Well, I've already made some teriyaki, and I don't think you have any books on you, right? She nods.
It's like, what? Did you think I carry my books everywhere I go? That's impossible. No one could do that. Unless I had a Nook. But I already told you. I'm not all for digital downloads.
How about we try a VN? Oh my... They're gonna play a VN while I'm playing a VN. It's like VNception. The characters that I'm playing as through this VN are gonna be playing a VN.
VN?
Oh, sorry. A visual novel.
A visual novel?
Yeah, like the one we're in. Yeah, are you familiar with them?
Yes, I am, although I can't say I've tried any myself. They're essentially text-based stories that you play as a computer or video game, correct? With art, such as sprites.
Like you are. Uh-huh. I guess they're kind of like a halfway point between the traditional methods of storytelling you prefer and the manga that Natsuki likes.
I suppose that's one way of looking at them.
She doesn't look as enthusiastic compared to when we talk about a normal book, which is a shame. You don't look too keen.
I don't?
You look disappointed in me. It's like, well, if you need me, I'll be in the corner crying in shame.
Sorry, I didn't mean to look bored or anything.
Well, you did. And now I feel ashamed. She takes a moment to compose herself.
Let's give it a try, Daniel. I believe it will do me well to try a new medium of storytelling, and I shouldn't be dismissive just because it's different to what I'm used to.
That's the spirit.
So, what did you have in mind?
Well, I know how much a good story means to you, so I've got just the VN. Basically, it's about a bunch of students who get locked into school, and the only way to escape is kill someone else and not get caught in the class trials that happen after a murder. Trust me, it's full of twists, and I want to see if someone as smart and analytical as you can figure out who the murderers are in the cases. It really raises a lot of questions about what lengths people will go to survive, and the characters are fantastically written.
Ah, a murder mystery. Are there any horror elements by chance?
Unfortunately not. It can get quite tense, and some of the chapters are fairly creepy though. Trust me, even without horror, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. What if it has psychological horror involved? I think sometimes psychological horror can be even more scary than traditional horror.
Okay then. I'll trust you on that. Let's go!
Nearly 2 hours have passed since I introduced Yuri to the game. Needless to say, it's proven to be a large hit with her. A surprise to be sure, but not an unwelcome one. I'm to here thinking to myself, I think that there's a quote from Phantom Menace like that. We've just reached the second trial, and although Yuri was keen to press on, find out who the killer of the chapter was, we have to get a move on.
A true predicament. Do you risk permanently blackening your conscience in the name of freedom? Or can such an art be excused in such circumstances? Obviously, murder is wrong, and outside of self-defense, never tolerated in society. But it's safe to say within those walls, the regular rules of society don't apply.
Somehow I knew you'd like it. Anyway, we should probably get going soon. Oh, I almost forgot. For the fireworks, we have to book online. Can you search for the tower online? You mean you didn't do it already? What is wrong with you? She complies, and within minutes, the appropriate phone number is on the screen. Anyway, I need the bathroom real quick, so I'll be back in a second. A date with Yuri under the fireworks. Isn't that romantic? This really does sound like a stereotype. To my surprise, however, Yuri's just sitting there, awkwardly twiddling her phone in her hands. What were you expecting her to be doing? Yuri? Did you ring them? I kinda assumed you would, given that I went to the bathroom. Oh. This is exactly why you should do things ahead of time instead of waiting until the last minute.
No, I haven't.
Well, I know that she struggles with talking to people face to face, but over the phone as well. Come on! Social anxiety is a scary thing. Okay, let's see here. Time to get out the old notebook. Let's see here, I guess I'll call this Fireworks Phone Call. And let's see here. Okay, well, I already said I was going to try and take away from her character development as much as possible. So once again, I'm going to come to her rescue and call for her. Alright. It's cool. I should have realized you struggle with this sort of thing, so I shouldn't have left this to you. To an extent, I agree, because you should have done this earlier. I'm not one to leave things till the last minute. In fact, leaving things till the last minute makes me even more anxious. And I just don't like doing it. I'll ring them, don't worry about it.
Are you sure? I should really do it myself.
Well, trust me, I know you should. But I'm trying to make both of us as miserable as possible. And to do that, I need to come to your rescue at every single given opportunity that I can. I'm sure. With my phone in hand, I make the booking. Simple enough. Just needed our names, and I told them we'd pay the money when we get there. Done.
I can't believe I couldn't even do something as simple as that.
But to be fair, in the old days, I would have struggled with that too. Like I said, I've been there. I was nervous to talk on the phone to what I perceived as random strangers as well. Now I can do it quite easily. Yuri, it's honestly okay. Let's get going, alright?
Okay. Sorry.
I chuckled to myself. Her New Year's resolution should really be to apologize less. It's cold out, isn't it? At least the snow's gone, though. A soft warmth slowly makes its way over my cold hands. I quickly notice where the warmth is coming from. A very embarrassed and blushing Yuri.
You don't mind, do you? I figured with our combined heat, we could...
She moves to withdraw her hands, but I hold firm. No. It's okay. Your hands feel really warm, and I like being able to do this with you. Oh. I swallow as a tiny bead of sweat forms on my forehead. Yuri smiles bashfully, but keeps her hands locked around mine.
I've never held hands with someone before.
What? Hand-holding? Okay, well. It's like, oh my god, if they're really if they show them actually holding hands, then I probably can't even show this on YouTube. Okay, no. What about your parents? Yes, tell me more about your parents. I'm sorry, but I still have my Yuno-Gasai theory rattling in my head.
Well, obviously I've held hands with them, but I meant more in this kind of sense.
Ah, of course. This kind of sense. Neither of us know what it is. But to be honest, this feels nice, so why bother questioning it? Don't question it, just go with it. Same. A quiet, comfortable silence falls between us. How is it that something as simple and basic as holding someone's hand can make you feel so warm and content inside? Hormones. Well, it's kind of that, but it's also just... Actually, no, it is hormones. Just kind of that sense of closeness and intimacy that you have with the other person. It makes you happy, it makes you feel relaxed, at ease, and... you know, all that good stuff.
This isn't the only new feeling I've had, to be honest.
Oh?
Spending time with you over the past few months has proven to be a novel experience in many ways.
Like a romance novel? Okay, no, that was a stupid pun. How so?
It might sound rather sad.
I tenderly rub my thumb over the back of Yuri's hand. You can say it, Yuri. There's no judgment here. This is a no-judgment zone. You see that sign? That sign says no judgment. I don't care that it's blank. I'm saying that it is.
The feeling of having a friend.
Oh my god. Like I said, I really do see a bit of a younger version of myself in these words.
Knowing that there's someone out there who actually cares about me.
And ironically, I felt this way towards the first woman I loved as well, so... Oh boy, yeah, well... I just hope that her love story doesn't have to end as tragically as mine did.
And wants to spend time with me. It's something I've never really felt before.
Huh? Really? Not even with the other club members?
Oh, I'm friends with the girls, of course. What I was trying to say is that, well, our friendship feels a lot deeper than the bonds I have with those three. I get along with Natsuki, Sayori, and Monica. We can talk about things, but...
She looks away.
With you, it feels like you truly want to be my friend. I feel like I can count on you more so than I can count on the others.
Wow.
Not to say that I don't value them or anything.
No, I think I know what you're saying. Yeah, I think I kind of get what she's saying too. Like, I'm friends with them as well, but I do feel a connection with you that I don't have with the others. It's a deeper sense of trust and honesty, and it's just a deeper connection in general. Even with Sayori, which is saying something. And somewhere right now, Sayori feels like,
why do I feel this pain in my heart for no good reason right now? You really mean that?
Of course I do. Of course. But I find it strange that I'm your first, like, proper friend. I'd have thought someone like you would have plenty of close friendships. You would think that, but sometimes it's hard to even make those friendships, let alone maintain them.
Someone like me?
Yeah, someone so kind, so thoughtful, so intelligent, and so interesting. Like, don't worry, I'm sure he'll work up the courage soon. She smiles sadly.
You're too kind, Daniel. I just wish that other people see me the way you do.
Poor Yuri. Before I have a chance to pursue that somewhat mysterious sentence any further, Yuri nudges me and points toward a building. Why is it mysterious?
This is the tower, yes?
Oh, yeah it is. Let's head inside to pay up before we head up. Or, to pay before we head up. Here we are. Oh, look at... I don't know what these are. These look like... I don't know. I don't want to say like confetti or like little specks of something. I don't know. After what felt like a billion flights of steps, we're finally at the top. Yuri is huffing just as much as I am, which makes me chuckle slightly. Slightly because I need to save some air for my lungs. Looks like we're both as unfit as each other.
Wow. The view from up here is incredible.
I gaze over the edge. As I gaze over the edge, I am afforded a lovely view of the entire city. The small pinpricks of yellow light contrast beautifully against the darkness of the sky. Yuri walks over to the edge of the balcony. Her face lights up in awe as she takes in the sights, and honestly, it's hard to tell what's more beautiful. As I take my place next to her and instinctively reach for her hands, the shyness in her face is still detectable, but a newfound sense of confidence has largely taken its place. Yes, she is making the funny lady face. Looking over the city with Yuri's hand in mine makes me feel nostalgic in a way. Almost like I'm looking over every memory, every moment, and every event in my life. It's rare that I find this contemplative and reflective, but there's no denying how enjoyable it feels. Getting lost in thought, idly thinking about anything and everything. It's a mental bliss that resonates perfectly with the girl I'm standing with.
Daniel?
Her voice is soft and gentle, as if sensing the immersion of the moment and being wary to disrupt it. Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think about all of Do you ever think about all of the decisions you've made?
Yes, in fact, I have a notebook full of all the decisions I've made. Okay, well, joking aside, this is no time for joking.
All the actions you've taken? All of the things you've said? All of the friendships and bonds you've made?
Sometimes. It's not often, but moments like these make me quite reflective.
I like to do the same.
In some ways, I also like to do the same. You always reflect on how this year has gone by and just major events of the year. Like last year in itself, I guess the most major thing was the death of my aunt, who I still miss. And to me, it's almost like it's hard to believe that she's been gone from this earth for almost an entire year now. Anyways, I guess we're not here for that, and I just need to psych myself out for a moment.
All of those choices,
Oh my, why can't I read this?
All of those choices, decisions, and actions, they make us who we are today.
Yep. The decisions you make and the actions that follow are a reflection of who you truly are.
Are you happy with the choices you've made?
Right now? Definitely. Well, I need to fix that. Are you? She looks away for a moment.
I think it's safe to say that everyone has their regrets.
I sure do.
Things they could have done differently, which would have produced a better result.
Definitely.
Things that they wish they didn't say in an argument. Things they wish they told people while they could.
Yep. Like all the things I wish I could have said to my mom and my aunt before they died. I told myself I wasn't gonna do this right.
But I think people forget about the things they're happy with. The things they'd never trade for the world.
Yeah. Like never would I trade away all the time that I did have with my mom, not even for the world. It was a short time, but I guess for what it's worth. Yes, and I will treasure that time dearly.
And
she takes a deep breath.
This moment is definitely one of them.
She scoots closer to me. At this point, our hips are touching, and the attractive scent of her perfume wafts its way into my nose. Oh, the temptation to just grab her and kiss her right now. Don't do it, man. You need to control yourself.
I agree 100%, Yuri. There's things I regret too. The past year hasn't been great.
What with the divorce and the loneliness.
I turn to face her. But all of that is in the past now. Now, I'm up here, holding hands with a beautiful girl, ready to celebrate the new year.
An intense blush covers Yuri's face, and she looks away for a moment or two. When she looks back at me, there's a coy smile on her face.
I never knew you were this romantic.
Oh boy. We steadily move closer and closer. I can feel her warm breath on my face. Closer. Closer. Until... Ah! Well, it wasn't Sayori interrupting. Well, bang! Seriously? It's like, are they ever going to... The sound of a firework going off makes us both jump. The familiar feeling of disappointment returns, but only for a moment. The intense colors and fervent display of the first round of fireworks are too good to ignore. Oh my god, wow, look at this. Once the dark sky explodes into life, illuminated by a magnificent display of reds, yellows, greens, and blues, all fighting for dominance in the canvas that is the night sky. Damn it, you see, this is poetic. You're poetic, man. You just don't know it, and is it just me or is he cosplaying as manly badass hero? He has the red scarf and the coat like him. As the sounds roar, Yuri slides up to me, resting the back of her head on my neck as she looks up into the dazzling sky, the dazzling display. Man, why can't I read today? Despite the loudness and brightness of the pyrotechnics, they don't at all feel overwhelming. In a way, it feels like there are fireworks. Our own celebration of not just the new year, but a personal celebration of the newfound relationship between Yuri and I. With the rainbow of colors dancing across the atmosphere, it's hard to believe that the skies were an empty dark blue just a few moments ago. I can even see the sight in front of me reflected in Yuri's violet eyes. Another color I could get lost in.
These are breathtaking.
No, you're breathtaking.
I've seen New Year's fireworks before, but only on television. Never like this.
You know, thinking back for a brief moment, my mother used to take the both of us to a fireworks display nearby where we lived. But that was such a long time ago.
I feel like I'm up there with them.
I knew it was worth the intense cardio to get up here. Which one is your favorite?
Oh, there are so many good choices. I love that little purple one. It's not as big or bold as some of the others, but it's a sight to behold in its own right.
I figured you'd say the purple one. It's a good choice. I'm a sucker for the big ones, though. The way they shoot up, and you know there's going to be a big explosion. It makes the wait worth it. A smaller firework whizzes by, moving horizontally across the sky. Another whirls by in a frantic spiral, shooting a luminous light as it goes. Viral. Okay, no. I'm sorry, I was just trying to... Well. Another takes the form of a shooting star, leaving a glistening trail in its wake.
Did you see that one, Daniel? I love how it's meant to emulate a shooting star. It must be so fun to design fireworks, knowing that your creations will awe and amaze people.
There's an almost childlike sense of playfulness in her voice. The kind I'd normally associate with Sayori. It's refreshing to see such pure, innocent joy in her. Eventually, the fireworks start to wear off. With one last huge explosion, the yellow lights flicker out, leaving the night sky to remain empty once more. Worth it, eh?
Definitely. Oh, Daniel, this was perhaps the best way to start off the new year. Thank you for everything.
Now that the show is over, we're pretty much back to where we were before we were interrupted. Can we find the moment again? Possibly. With my heart hammering away, my face inches closer and closer to Yuri's. And this time, I know full well there won't be anything to get in the way. Oh my god, what's that? Okay, no. Okay, come on. I close my eyes as I feel warm, soft lips on my own. The feeling is indescribable. It just feels so right. Her pace is slow and passionate, and I'm able to easily match her rhythm. Yuri hums contentedly as I hold her hips and pull her closer to me. Her hands are linked around the back of my neck, pulling me into the kiss. I gently rest my hands on her neck and the side of her face. The softness of her skin matches the softness of her lips. After a while, we eventually break apart. With her face this close to mine, I can see every eyelash, and more worryingly, the tears that are forming in her eyes. Yuri, are you okay?
I'm fine. Sorry, that was just a really intense moment for me.
Hey, it's okay. Take your time. It was pretty overwhelming on my end as well.
I'm here for you, and I'm not going anywhere.
She clings to me a little harder.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I do.
Even if Even if I were to show you the parts of me that I'm ashamed of, will you still stay with me? Yuri? Oh my god, no. Well, honestly, I guess... Well, I guess... even if you truly love that person, you'll accept them for their flaws, their strengths, everything about them. So, if you really do love her, then if she does show you the parts of herself that she's ashamed of, all you need to do is just hold her close and tell her that no matter what happens, you still love her dearly, and nothing is ever going to change that. Sorry, it's like I said, this really does kind of strike close to home for me. And like I said, I just wish that my story had a bit of a happier ending. Okay, well, it's not even a question. Of course I would. I wouldn't leave you for anything. Thank you. Thank you. She wraps her arms around me and rests her head on my chest. I am a little taken aback, but take the opportunity to plant a kiss on the top of her forehead. I'm curious, though. What exactly does she mean by parts of me that I'm ashamed of? Well, unfortunately, I know what she means. But I am sure that he will find out soon enough. No, now isn't the time to ask. So, I guess we're boyfriend and girlfriend now, huh? Yes, I suppose we are. The new semester is going to be interesting, isn't it? Yes. It most definitely will be. With a smile, she gently grasps my hand and leads me down towards the door. I'm still hardly daring to believe my luck. Yuri actually kissed me. I must be the luckiest guy in the world. And then, nothing of any... whatever. Any sort of importance happened whatsoever. Oh my god. Act 3. Old Wounds. Everything I touch crumbles down in this imaginary world. How many times must I rebuild it? Okay, well... yeah, I guess given my little emotional display, I need to take 5. Okay, I am back and... yeah, I'm feeling better now. Okay, anyways... as my eyes slowly flare open and the last vestiges of sleep leave my body, I run my hands through my hair, thinking about how my life is in its current state. Well, I'd say it's pretty good right about now. Compared to how last January started, it's definitely a lot different. Yeah, no kidding. Your entire life has changed. Forever. For one, I actually have a girlfriend now. Yup. We kissed, and it's a given that we like each other, so... why do I still feel a little uneasy? Probably having to do with Yuri's previously foreboding words about the parts of her that she's ashamed of, and if you'll accept her for those parts. Is it because I still find it hard to believe Yuri likes a guy like me? A clever, gorgeous, sophisticated girl like that? Self-doubt really has a way of eating you up from the inside. Yeah, tell me about it. It's like, no, really, it's like, I know, I've been through that as a guy. There's no point on dwelling on it, Daniel. She chose you for a reason, okay? Yeah, this year has got off to a good start, so let's keep it that way.
A slow smile creeps onto my face as I get out of bed and start my morning routine. It's going to be an interesting year. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it is going to be an interesting year. It's so interesting that I can't even... my tongue is not working at all. Well, for one thing, I could do without this. One thing I could do without is the bitter cold. It's always freezing around this time of year. At least I'll have Yuri to warm me up. Oh my god, you're gonna use her like a Snuggie? Her love for snuggling up with indoors... snuggling up with indoors with a book in hand might just come in very handy. A little bit of a weird sentence, but snuggling up with someone, comma, indoors with a book. Something like that. And she's also so warm whenever we hug. Really interesting patch of wall, huh? In an attempt to hastily break out of my trance, I take a mental effort to bring myself to focus on the girl in front of me. It's either Emmy or Shiori. Okay, it was Emmy. What? Emmy giggles. Come on, this is the first time in a while that I've been early, so I want to see the look on Sakurai's face. Like I said, her voice is gonna be different every single time. That's gonna be my Emmy voice. It's just gonna be different every single time I voice her. I grin. Lead the way. How was your Christmas break anyway? Pretty good, yeah. She must have picked up on the happiness in my voice as she bounces on the spot excitedly. And she's doing the bunny thing. Well, anyways, you have this adorable little face. My friend Maggie used to like that little emote. I can tell what her next question is going to be. What are you so happy about? Oh? And why is that? Well... see, it started like this. It's always nice spending Christmas with some friends, you know. Oh, okay, well. There's a mischievous smile on her face that puts me slightly on edge. What? Especially when those friends are girls, huh? Who told you? And of course that mischievous smile on her face is followed by a knowing smirk. What are you trying to say, Emmy? Yuri, Daniel! Wait, that is her name, right? That is her name. That girl with the purple hair? Yeah, why? Oh, nothing, nothing. I saw you guys together on New Year's Eve, that's all. Oh, well if that's the case, okay, no. No, there's no reason to do that. I'll just leave that to Natsuki. Well, there go my hopes of being subtle. So, tell me everything. I'm dying to know all the details. Thankfully, I'm spared from telling Emmy everything as the classroom door swings open and Sakurai strolls in. After settling down his papers, he turns to address the class. Morning, everyone. Hope you all had a good break. Daniel certainly did. What is wrong with you? It's like, I still think you're I still love your design, especially since you look like Renee, but still. It's like, you're definitely not very subtle yourself. I nudge her in the ribs. Oh, and why is that? Oh my god, no! Because I got some brand new shoes! I love them! Come on, brain, think of something. If you can somehow convince a girl like Yuri to like me, you must be capable. I just, well, I did a lot of reading on 20th century history, so I'm, in a great position to hit the ground running this semester. Oh, he's like, I don't believe that for a moment. Sakurai doesn't look entirely convinced, but he nods. He's like, I'm not convinced, but I'll take it. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll be able to answer a lot of the questions that are coming up then. It's like, congratulations, you just dug yourself into a hole. He chortles and turns to face the blackboard. I glare at Emmy, only to be met by a childlike grin, like a gremlin. Okay, no. The 1920s and 1930s, guys. The Roaring Twenties and the Great Depression. There you go. Believe me, these are some interesting years. For the very reason that I just called off. And just like that, the lesson's begun. Sometime later, I find myself wandering down to the club room. As I get closer to the door, I spot a familiar figure. A nervous smile works its way onto my face.
Good morning, Daniel.
Morning, Yuri. It's nice to see you again. She smiles shyly. There's no hiding the red blush that's crept up onto her face.
And you, Daniel?
There's an awkward silence for a moment. Of course, it's a given Yuri doesn't really know how to take a compliment. Although that's a part of what makes her so endearing. That sense of innocence and genuineness. Shall we go inside then? Don't know about you, but I'm kinda hungry. Because I need food!
I need food!
I haven't done that in a while. She looks relieved at the change of topic.
Yes, I was just about to suggest that. It's rather convenient timing that we were both let out at the same time, don't you think?
That, or both of our teachers happen to be hungry? You're the analytical one, so I'll leave that to you. With a small laugh, she opens the door and leads us through. Hi, guys! Okay, there are other people here. To my surprise, we're the last ones in. Monica and Sayori look deep in conversation about something. Possibly about bungee jumping, while Natsuki has her face firmly hidden behind some manga. The girls look over. Well, Monica and Sayori do, and give us a brief smile before turning back to their conversation. Well, and Natsuki doesn't care. Should we go over and talk to them? About what? Yuri pauses for a moment as her eyes briefly go over to the other club members. She eventually shakes her head.
Well, I wouldn't. It seems they're all engrossed in their own thing.
Yeah, because Natsuki's really interested in her story to care about us. Meanwhile, Sayori and Monica are too busy talking about bungee jumping to really pay us any mind. So, I bumped my nose a little. Fair enough. Works for me. We both take a seat and pull out our food. Unsurprisingly, Yuri's meal looks a lot fancier than mine. I motion towards it. Homemade, I'm guessing.
Yes, you can never go wrong with a vegetable stir-fry paired with rice. The combination of flavors is always satisfying to the taste buds.
Funny. Yeah, I remember you saying.
Oh, I don't sound like a broken record, do I?
Huh? No, not at all. I just remember it because I thought it was really interesting how food meant so much to you. She doesn't look entirely convinced, but she starts eating nonetheless. Okay, yeah, I don't know. A brief silence falls between us. Even though she's looking at her food, I get a shrewd suspicion that her focus is elsewhere. Is there something behind me? Or next to me?
Say, Daniel.
Hmm?
Have you given much thought to what you want to do after school?
Uh-oh. Probably go home and watch anime. Why? No, not like that. She means in the long run. We briefly make eye contact, seeing Yuri narrow her eyes, trying to figure out if I was being sarcastic or serious, is strangely enjoyable, in a silly sort of way. Just don't get too used to that, because, yeah, especially if she wants a serious conversation, then I doubt she's gonna want that. She eventually realizes I'm joking and smiles as she shakes her head softly.
You know what I mean.
Okay, well, I guess the funny lady was okay with that. I should have known because you're the funny lady. Truthfully, I don't really know. It's not really something I've spent a lot of time thinking about, if I'm being honest. I probably should give it some thought, but I guess it just isn't a high priority on my... it isn't high on my priority list. It's on my to-do list. My eyes wander over to Sayori and Monica. Sayori looks like she's a little sad about something, while Monica is apparently trying to cheer her up. The sight of them makes me feel grateful, but also a little guilty. As much as I've enjoyed spending time with Yuri, I haven't really seen much of Sayori over the past few months. Still, it's good to know that she has other friends, right?
Given how we're only second years, it's understandable.
It's when we're third years that it becomes a problem. I return my gaze to Yuri. Judging by the look on your face, you've probably spent a little more time than I have on the matter.
I suppose you could say that.
Let me guess, you want to go to university? To study something like Japanese?
Was I really that obvious?
It was just a really fitting pick, that's all.
I suppose it is.
I imagine you're excited to go?
To university? Yes and no, actually. On the one hand, university can be such a stimulating place. The amount of things you can learn while you're there. At high school, you're naturally limited by what your teachers choose to teach. From what I've gathered, you're given much more independence at the undergraduate level.
And you're giving a lot more independence at the graduate level.
But on the other hand, I've been at school for almost all of my life. To make that jump, especially if I were to go to a new part of the country, well, it definitely invokes a lot of anxiety. There's comfort to be had in routine.
Yeah, it's like, if I didn't have my routine, I'd probably go crazy.
I know exactly what to expect, well, for the most part with school. Humans naturally dislike change, and as exciting as I think higher education will be, it comes at a cost.
Yeah. It's like, I can tell you right now how much it's like, I definitely disliked all the changes that came with my mother's passing, as well as my aunt's passing, so... Yep. Well, when you put it that way, when you put it like that, yeah, I can definitely see what you mean. But I think it's something we all have to go through at some point, right? Even if we just go straight into work after leaving school. My eyes wander over to Natsuki. Her position hasn't changed in the slightest. Man, that manga must be pretty damn good. Yuri follows my line of sight. Her eyes land on Natsuki as well. Given the already thoughtful look on her face, it's hard to tell if her thoughts have changed.
Natsuki is only a first year, so I suppose there won't be much sense in having this conversation with her.
But I wasn't planning on it. I don't think my post-school plans have even crossed my mind. Or had even crossed my mind back when I first got into high school.
What about Sayori? Have you ever spoken about this with her?
Not really. We only began talking to each other a couple of months ago, and... I catch myself just in time. Mentioning that Sayori and I haven't had much time to ourselves because I spent so much time with Yuri would just make Yuri feel bad. Well, I guess there just hasn't been a right time. Besides, she never really struck me as someone who really gave much thought to her future. Kinda like me. Whereas someone like Monica, well, the impression I get from her is that she's probably got a plan. She's got a plan, and then she's got a backup plan, and then she's got a backup plan for that plan. I chuckle to myself, remembering how my parents used to say that my school years would flash by in the blink of an eye. You laugh now, but trust me, you're gonna sit back and look at this and say like, damn, time really went by so fast. Like, I can still remember my time in high school, almost like it was yesterday. As well as my time in my undergraduate years of college, so it's like, yes. And it did just fly by in the blink of an eye. So it's like, you laugh now, but trust me, it's gonna hit you like a freaking train. Okay, well anyways. I've had this conversation with Mom and Dad before. It was a while ago, though. I think they wanted me to go to university, so I guess our plans aren't too far off. Guessing you had a similar conversation with your parents, right? You're not helping my Unogasai theory at all, Yuri.
Yes, I think so.
The vague, uncertain nature to her answer throws me off guard for a moment. But I'm not given much time to push it as Monica suddenly turns to us. Oh no, she's interested in us.
Hey, you two. Sorry about not saying hi just now.
It's okay. I'm used to you not liking me.
I was just a little preoccupied.
Yeah, it's like, if I had to take a few guesses, Sayori is most likely talking about why she feels the pain and torment in her heart. I don't know if she specifically said, like, why, like, that MC's the reason, so to say, but who knows? Well, she knows. It's all good. Everyone seems to be doing their own thing, so I don't think anyone really noticed. You okay, Sayori? You seemed a little down when we walked in.
Oh, I'm fine.
But she's crying inside.
What made you think that?
The conversation between you and Monica that you clearly looked sad about. I don't know. Guess it just looked like Monica was trying to cheer you up about something. Just how I interpreted the situation, that's all.
There's nothing wrong, silly. How was your New Year's Eve?
Oh, man. I glanced toward Yuri. There's a faint blush on her cheeks. It was really something. Yep, it was something, alright. It was something to remember. The look on Sayori's face goes from quizzical to understanding as she puts two and two together. Seriously, I just love this face.
Oh, you two? You're together, aren't you?
Oh my god! It's like the secret's out! Well, I guess it wasn't much of a secret, considering Emmy already knew. I reach out and gently weave Yuri's hand to mine. We're a couple now. Yeah, we are. How are you gonna take this, Sayori? Well, she's doing the funny, she's happy, and she's so happy. But I can still bet she's crying inside.
I knew there was something going on between you two.
What gave it away?
I'm so happy for you guys. Even though you're in my very soul, torturing me and making me cry inside.
Sayori's smile is so huge, it's almost bordering on insincere. Oh boy. Yeah, she's here like, I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so happy I could just cry. Like that kind of feeling, like... Yeah, she says that she's happy, but deep down inside she is like... She's probably sad, angry, and so many storm of emotions all at once.
Great. That's precisely what this club needs. Lovey-dovey mushy stuff. I'm surprised you even notice, or...
I'm surprised you'd even notice... Oh, okay.
I'm surprised you'd even notice that mushy stuff, with how absorbed into your manga you seem to be. It doesn't block out the sound of people kissing, you know. Especially if they're all loud and obnoxious about it.
That sounds like it came from personal experience. She tips her manga down to glare at me. Listen here, you little... Okay, no. I grin and raise my free hand in a comedic display of self-defense. No!
To be fair, she has a point. PDAs are a major no-no for me. No PDAs!
I used to have a teacher in high school who was like that. He'd be like, no PDAs, whenever he saw anyone even holding hands, or let alone kissing. Don't worry, we'll save all the... Really? What is wrong with you? We'll save all the physical stuff when you guys aren't around. See, this is exactly what I meant! Why did you say that? Yuri's kind of in shock. Sayori's definitely like, huh? Natsuki's trying to process what she just heard. And Monika is disappointed in us. But, I mean, in that case, what else is new? She's always disappointed in us. Okay, and it's like, she's embarrassed. She's like, well... She's kind of embarrassed and just trying to laugh it off. She's very embarrassed. And Natsuki's here like, what? Why? What? Why are you all looking at me like that? Stop looking at me! You never really think before you open your mouth, do you? No, he doesn't. It's like, yes! Reading this back, it's like, even when I saw this, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, do you even know what you're saying right now? No, you don't. What do you mean? Oh. I know, well, there's a few ways that could go. The sound of the bell ringing cuts my question short, and soon after, the sound of scraping chairs fills the air as everyone starts packing up. It's only as we're heading towards the door do I realize why what I said caused so much awkwardness. Yes. Yes, what is wrong with you, Cochino? Oh. No, I didn't mean it like that. Guys! Guys! But Monika, Natsuki, and Sayori are already gone. I desperately turn to Yuri. It's not like that, I swear! You knew what I really meant, right? I awkwardly rub the back of my neck. Yuri? No! You turned her against me? You have done that yourself. You know, you're quite endearing when you're flustered. This whole time he was thinking the same thing about you. She smiles and heads off. It's not like that! No, it's not! Oh, this game is on. It is on. Okay, and I guess nothing of any significance happened whatsoever. Or nothing of any relevance happened whatsoever. Oh, damn, what was it that I used to say? I'm so lost now. Okay, well, I guess... No, I think I'll keep going for a little bit. Hopefully this doesn't turn into a 2-hour-long video. It's nice to have a day off to myself for once. Seems like it's been a while since I haven't made plans for the weekend. Well, this time I can't say that everybody's working for the weekend, because so far there's been no working. Funny thing, what joining a single club can do to your social life. Yep, it did a lot of things for my social life. That's probably an exaggeration on my part, though. No, for sure. I've made a lot of good lifelong friends through clubs, so I'm telling you, don't knock it. I'm just used to staying in on the weekends whenever I do go out. Or I'm just so used to staying in on weekends whenever I do go out, it's a huge deal in my mind. Let's see, what should I do? I'm suddenly overwhelmed by possibilities. Well, I guess I should start by brushing my teeth and getting dressed. A fresh, minty taste permeates my mouth. Unfortunately, orange juice is out of the question for now. Yeah, cause no, you don't want to do that. Might as well make another foray into the world of cooking. Welcome to the exciting world of cooking, with your host, Daniel. What was one of the recipes Yuri told me before? Egg rice? Yeah, the egg rice. It sounded pretty simple back then. Let's see if it actually is. I half-heartedly swill some rice around in a bowl full of water. It's been a while since I cooked rice for myself. I'm just too impatient to wait for it to cook. Let's start. Egg rice is pretty good. The mouthful is kind of slimy, but the taste is there. I don't know if I actually cooked it correctly, but how badly could I have messed up such a simple recipe? At least you didn't set it on fire. I might make it again, the next time I'm too lazy to make something more complex. Which is to say, basically every meal. This has got to be more healthy than instant meals though, right? Yep, you're definitely getting in some protein in your grains. I wonder if Yuri's eating this right now, too. She did say she eats it for breakfast quite often. It's like that cheesy saying where people are connected by the same moon overhead. Yes, like we're looking up at the same moon. What was I gonna say? Well, never mind. But instead of the moon, we're connected by eggy rice. Eggy rice, I love that. Yuri does wake up way earlier than me though, so she's probably finished eating by now. Speaking of Yuri, I should probably make some headway on one of the countless books she's recommended to me if I want to be able to keep up with her. Let's see. Okay, the TV's back, and I can see Saitama again. Like I said, I can't get over that, and I never will. I just love it. That's one of my favorite pictures of Saitama. I've only gotten through a few more chapters in the book, but I'm already feeling restless. The plot isn't bad, but the themes seem a bit elusive to me. It interestingly employs a stream of consciousness style of narration, too, that I'm not used to reading. I wonder if Yuri ever gets bored when reading. Probably seldom. It's not like she's some inhuman reading machine, so there must be some writers who she dislikes. Oh my... damn it! Okay, well, here comes theory number 2. Remember all the times when she says stuff like, humans are this and this and that, and it's like, he even said like, you're saying it like you're not a human. It's like, okay, theory number 1, she basically is like Yuno Gasai. Theory number 2, she's an inhuman reading machine. Knowing her, she's the type of person to soldier on and finish the book anyway, despite her feelings towards it. Like my feelings about Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Maybe I should go outside and stretch my legs for a bit, then come back to the book later with fresh eyes. It's that type of winter day outside that's sunny yet chilly. What sun? The clear, cold sunshine lights up the uniformly gray sky. This kind of sunlight has always reminded me a bit of the hue of fluorescent lights. It makes the air seem strangely crystalline. Fortunately for me, it's not cold enough to warrant bundling up in a bunch of layers. Just my sweater is enough to keep me comfortable. Some people have crazy cold tolerances. I'll never be able to reach the level of girls who can wear skirts in freezing weather. I know. Oh my god, no. Or like one time I see a guy just wearing short sleeves shirts and it's like, how can you stand this? Speaking of which, there's a girl in a skirt approaching me. Looks like she's walking her dog. Is that Shiori? You wear your school uniform and... So fluffy! Hey Shiori.
What's up, Daniel?
I didn't know you lived this close to me.
There's a lot of things you don't know about me. Oh, is that your house over there? I wouldn't say I live too close by. It's just that I take really long walks.
Huh. Maybe you should go on a run with Emmy sometime.
Huh. As if I'd be able to keep up with her. Anyway, it's just that my dog really likes being outside, so I hit 2 birds with 1 stone by getting both me and my dog exercise this way. Isn't that right, Mochi?
Oh my god, you named him Mochi? Woof woof. Mochi barks cheerfully in response, wagging his tail furiously. Mochi. That's a cute name. I love it for him. It matches his looks too. He's really just a huge ball of white fur. He is. He's so fluffy. Yep. Samoyeds.
Samoyeds look kinda like giant blobs of white mochi, don't they?
Is this the breed of dog? I don't even know. I mean, maybe if you squint really hard and have terrible vision. You mean like me? I have terrible vision without my glasses.
Huh. You just don't know how to appreciate dogs or mochi.
Oh, she thinks I'm an idiot. Well, that's okay. She's kind of a background character anyway, or a secondary character rather.
So are you enjoying the sunny day as well? Or are you gonna pop back in to your nasty otaku den after this?
Well, I decided to take a walk.
Hey, I do not have a nasty otaku den. I wouldn't even call myself an otaku. Just because a guy dabbles in the occasional anime and manga doesn't mean he's an otaku. Don't forget the video games.
Oh, yeah.
Wait! Don't worry. I won't tell any girls about it.
What? How do you even know what hobbies I'm into? Are you spying on me? Are you like Tharja 7.0? Are you like spying on me, watching me sleep and all this junk?
Look, just because I don't confiscate the manga you read in class doesn't mean I don't notice it.
Oh.
You should be thankful you have such a chill class rep. Otherwise, next time you swap manga with your buddies, you could find yourself in huge trouble.
Says the girl who wildly modifies her uniform. Yeah, it's like she's wearing a classic tie instead of like the necktie that you see Sayori or Monica wearing. And just so you know, the girls I hang out with don't mind those things. Especially Natsuki. Or at least, I don't think so. Except for Monica, I don't know. The cord's out with her.
Pfft, I'm just teasing you, Daniel.
Yeah. Do you have cram school or something after this? I assume that's why you're wearing your uniform on a Saturday. You know, other than the fact that most likely you don't have any custom casual clothes for you.
No, it's just a habit from my old school.
What?
I used to go to this really prestigious private school that required everyone to wear their uniforms outside. Like, every high school student wears their uniform when they go to academic-related things like cram school. But we had to wear our uniforms when we were just hanging out outside of school, too.
Oh, just like certain magical index, a certain scientific railgun, where they have to kind of do that too.
Something about holding ourselves accountable for our conduct, both in and out of school.
Sounds suffocating.
No kidding. The headmaster has a giant stick up his butt.
It's like you didn't want to say the other word. So are you overcompensating with your current uniform then? Making up for all those years you couldn't customize your uniform?
Let's just say I'm glad the rules are less strict at our school.
Mochi suddenly barks and tugs at his leash, causing Shiori to stumble a bit.
Okay, Mochi. Looks like he wants to get going now. I'll see you at school, Daniel.
See ya.
My cakes will burn!
Mochi runs off with a struggling Shiori in tow. It's as if Shiori's the one being walked by her dog. Well, I should probably head back to finish my book anyhow. And it's nighttime already. It's nighttime It's night by the time I flip over the last page of the novel and snap the cover shut. That's one book down, a billion more to go. Are you proud of me yet, Yuri? I'm about to contemplate rewarding myself by binging an anime series when my cell phone rings. Is it Mom? Speak of the devil, it's Yuri. Man, the mom doesn't really call that much. She doesn't come home at all for Christmas. She's only called once this whole time. Anyways, well, I'm guessing that she's not calling to praise me on my literary accomplishments. Oh my god, well, this could go quite a few different ways, but anyways, let's go.
Hey Yuri, what's up? Ah, hello Daniel.
Just calling to say hi?
Oh, yes, I suppose so. Am I interrupting something? I hope I'm not bothering you.
Nah, don't worry. You're all good. I just finished one of the books you recommended me.
Oh? Which one?
It was that translated story about the thief who gets released from jail and becomes obsessed with people who put him there. This almost sounds like the Count of Monte Cristo. Almost. Except Edmond Dantes... He wasn't a thief, I know that. At least, I don't think he was.
And how did you like it?
I think I liked it overall, but it kind of made me feel a bit depressed too. Kind of like Selena Gomez's music.
How so?
Well, the protagonist definitely isn't totally moral himself. I mean, he's a thief and ends up killing people by the end. Okay, yeah, Count of Monte Cristo definitely didn't have that. But the whole idea of having a bunch of people put him in jail that's about the only similarity there, I guess. But I couldn't help sympathizing with him. He lost everything while in jail, even his family, and he couldn't find his way back into society.
It is true that he absolutely couldn't help but slip back into his old ways, though. Or, is it true that he absolutely couldn't help but slip back into his old ways, though?
I guess not. He did have a mentor who gave him shelter and advice. Okay, well, yeah, so that kind of is also in Count of Monte Cristo as well. Dantes did have like a mentor while he was locked up. Still, I found myself agreeing with him when he stated to become sort of an anarchist revolutionary. Oh jeez.
I suppose you commiserated the lack of justice from the protagonist's point of view.
Yeah, I did like how ironic the ending was. The main character spends the whole book calling his enemies traitors and dogs, but in the end gets killed by police dogs. Okay, yeah, that definitely didn't happen in Count of Monte Cristo.
I think that I would agree with you on the story being a rather melancholic one. It's quite the existential bit of literature, or existential bit of literature.
Existential, yes, I read it right the second time.
However, I do disagree with the protagonist's actions myself. The way I see it, while the main character's life is unfair in some aspects, he also uses his anger and anarchistic ideas to hide his own flawed character.
Like he's overcompensating.
After all, the story employs first-person narration and stream of consciousness, so there's an element of unreliable narrator there.
Yes, because you're only seeing it from his point of view, which is prone to bias and possible skewing of point of view. That's true. He did try to justify some pretty bad things.
But in the end, death is the greatest equalizer.
Because death comes for everyone!
Just as the protagonist dies, so shall his supposed enemies. It really makes you think about the futility of life.
Yeah. I don't really know what I'm supposed to say to that. Man, what a depressing turn this conversation's taken. What were we gonna talk about again? Aside from my tongue not working? Do you think the main character could have changed, though? I mean, if he were a real person or something?
Well, It's not as though people are locked into certain personalities and dispositions at birth. I believe that people's experiences can deeply change how they see the world. The main character certainly had the ability to change, but all the events that happened to him caused him to become misanthropic and embittered. Misanthropic. I'd agree with that. That kind of touches on the nature versus nurture debate too, doesn't it? Ah, yes. Nature versus nurture. One of the biggest questions regarding the human condition.
See, there she goes again.
I'm inclined to focus on how people's environment affects them, rather than on how they're genetically predisposed to do myself. That's one of the reasons why I love reading people's, both real and fictional, stories so much. You get to see how the characters develop through all the conflicts they endure. It's almost like a parent watching their child grow, but sped up to fit in the few hours it would take you to read a book.
Huh. It might only take you a few hours, but it'd probably take me much longer than that.
It doesn't seem to take a long time when you become completely absorbed by the story. And what's amazing about literature is how it can make you sympathize with despicable people by showing you how their mindsets are warped by their experiences.
In a sense, they become like a sympathetic villain. Like, they only become villains because of their environment and the conditions that surround them and affect them.
But how do you know how much of a person's personality can be attributed to nature or nurture? There's no real way you can measure that kind of thing. Good point.
What if your brain is wired a way that makes you more likely to enjoy things like tea and literature? Maybe dopamine gets released in your brain in a different way than it does in mine. That's just an example, though. I'm no neuroscientist.
Perhaps how much is the wrong question. It may be more accurate to ask something along the lines of how nature and nurture interact.
Okay, yeah, this I kind of agree with. I think that maybe from birth our brains are maybe hardwired a certain way, but at the same time, certain experiences and the environment we're brought up in can kind of influence a little bit of that a bit. But at the same time, it's like our true nature will always most likely shine through. Or so I'd like to think.
Anyway.
Yeah, what did you call me for?
I'm glad you enjoyed the novel. I may be sending more recommendations your way soon.
Oh boy!
Hold on, I still have a long list of books to go. Thanks for giving me all these recommendations, though. It's really helped me ease back into the literary world.
So now he's reading books. Well, if you count the children's books I read as part of the literary world.
Of course, Daniel. I'm always happy to share my love for literature with others.
I can practically hear the smile in her voice. You know, this is actually the first time that I picked up my phone to use.
Do you call people often, then?
Nope. Nah, I mean, I mostly use it to play games and read random posts online. Those random Facebook posts. Today's been really quiet for me, though, in a good way. All I did was cook, read, and go for a walk. Oh, and talk to you.
That sounds like a lovely day, Daniel. Quite similar to mine, actually.
Huh, seems like you're really rubbing off on me. We laughed together a bit at that. These gentle moments with Yuri, I wish they could last forever. And it's like, now comes the part where fate comes in to show you the irony of your words.
I hope that's a good thing.
Are you kidding me? Of course it is. My mom would kill for a daughter like you. Stop.
Seriously, what?
Like I said, you're not helping your case for theory number 1. I realized too late what I just implied. Good one, Daniel. Way to go, Kenobi. Yuri's probably gonna hang up from embarrassment now with how shy she is. I mean, you definitely have better grades than me and stuff. I'm sure you're simply doubting yourself. Anyway, it's getting a bit late now, so...
Yeah, well, I'll talk to you later.
See you in school, Daniel.
See ya.
Smooth, Daniel. Smooth. 'Cause you're so smooth. Okay, and I guess nothing of any relative importance happened whatsoever. There we go, I knew I'd get the rhythm back. Okay, well this time I think I am gonna close the video off before it gets too late. Too late and too much of a long video. Save. And... yes. Alright, well, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with whatever else I do. Stay golden, and later, folks.